morning, everybody. Welcome back to day 2 of the Tokenize This virtual summit brought to you by Security Token Market. Yesterday was awesome. I think we had, somewhere between 8 and 10 panels and discussions all in, plenty of different topics. I think we covered raising capital with security tokens, secondary trading and liquidity issues, solutions more so coming tomorrow. We covered different blockchains and how they could all work together. We covered certain industry players. We covered JP Morgan's Onyx division and what they're doing, riding off a huge announcement with Barclays and BlackRock just 2 days ago, pretty much yesterday. And today, we're diving in a bit more institutional focus and seeing really what the big banks are doing, what are the big asset managers doing, what does that plumbing look like, because really everything's coming down to that. First off, to kick day 2 off, really excited to have the whole team here and to have everyone joining us shortly. Wanted to thank our sponsors in no particular order, but really, really thankful for these firms in the space: Block Time Financial, Red Swan, Fusion IQ, Oasis Pro, Invenium, Fairchild Acquisitions, and Invest Ready. Folks, also remember, thank you to our media partners, Benzinga and Securities.io, who is live streaming the event as well. I know most of you are tuning into YouTube right now. Anyone who wants to leave comments or ask questions throughout all of these discussions, please register at summit.stm.co. That's where we could actually interact with you guys and kind of take it from there. So let's look at today. We're going to look at the current state of the market more than anything. Like I said, we're going to hear from some of the largest heads of innovation, heads of digital assets, and strategic partnership players at a lot of these big banks and big firms that are issuing either security tokens or working with tokenized products. They're kind of building that plumbing and anywhere in between. Yesterday was interesting. So we thought, we were looking at the secondary trading side, for example. We have a couple different solutions like securitized markets. We had Castle Placement with our CP Go ATS, and even kind of an interesting entrant back from May of this year, OTC Markets Group, who, OTC handles about 10,000 OTC securities to date. The fact that they're now in the game with digital asset securities is tremendous. And I think that's something that really went over the heads of a lot of the industry, both, the existing tokenization industry and the legacy capital markets. I mean, a lot of firms are already working with OTC Markets Group and their OTC Link ATS. What really caught my eye there, I know a lot of our team will probably agree, the fact that it's so difficult these days to really aggregate good trading volume and to really, if I'm an issuer, if I'm an investor, to get feasible trades and order book depth, it's tough with just one marketplace or venue. The fact that OTC Link ATS is an inter-dealer quotation system, pretty much instead of going from investor to investor, we're going from broker to broker to other broker. We're acting kind of, as an order aggregator and facilitator rather than a standalone, venue itself. I think that's tremendous. And I think yesterday some eyes were starting to light up even on the panel itself, and some other viewers and industry players. We got some really good feedback. So, hopefully that panel actually sets the stage for 2024. We start seeing a bit more integration on that front. I think that'll help the industry tremendously. Similarly, even looking at it from a primary capital raise standpoint, it's very tough to raise capital in this macro picture right now, let alone with a brand new technology coming to the forefront. And it was interesting and pretty reassuring to hear from some of the brokers, some of the investment bankers that really boots on the ground right now, actually raising capital. We had Dalmore Group, we had Castle Placement, we had INX, we had DigiShares, who is raising capital themselves, actually. All unique, different perspectives, some more so on the crypto side, how are we getting retail in, how are we integrating wallets and really making that formidable with that plumbing, to the more traditional side, looking at just how big the space is, how brokers can actually complement each other and raise somewhere from 10 to 20, 30, $50 million, from a retail raise, but also from lower level of creds and onwards. I thought it was very interesting. Kind of my takeaway is that the future, not even to say future, it's happening now, is a multi-tiered capital raise system where maybe you'll have a traditional layer for institutions and private banking clients, but you'll also have some tokenized raise kind of in the mid-ground with, high net worth individuals who don't yet meet certain criteria, maybe on the qualified side. You have some retail also, maybe they're separated. Eventually they could kind of, if the instruments are fungible, they'll mix, they'll trade together, and they'll be active. But I think to really unlock the future of this, it shouldn't be just like a one pile of one investment class. Rather, it will be different tranches. And I've heard that from a few different industry partners. I think, and we kind of saw that come out to play yesterday just in discussion. So a lot of eyes on that. I think the big theme, same topic on that capital raise side, is enabling, company managers, corporates, issuers to really monetize their own user base. And that's something that's talked about a lot. And Aton Butler had it perfectly. So this is more like e-commerce than a traditional capital raise, right? You want to make it simple. You want to make it like your users come into your website, boom, they click a button. Obviously, all the compliance, the KYC, the verifications have to be there. But the way investing is changing, it's becoming a bit more e-commerce, like you're shopping on Amazon or on a Shopify storefront. So pretty cool to think about that. And you're going to retail plus everything I just said before 2 minutes ago, complementing all that with traditional channels. I think that's really where issuers and corporates are going to find their ideal blend of user base of capital. Similarly, even, looking at, so I kind of think of that as interoperability on the capital raise side. We got all these partners, they got to work together. It's more collaborative than competitive. We heard that verbatim from Richard Love-Tig at Castle Placement, for example. And I think, when people in this industry hear interoperability, we're usually thinking of the technology. We're thinking of the blockchain. So going from Ethereum to Avalanche to Algorand to Polygon. So things of that nature rather. And yesterday, Jason Barraza at our team hosted an amazing panel with a handful of these blockchain groups, Hyperledger, we had Avalanche, we had Coinbase's Base, we had Polygon, we had Stellar. So all in all, it was a kind of a recurring theme. And we even had industry players kind of chiming in saying the future, all these players will have to work together to really unlock all this liquidity. You can't have, $8 billion fragmented across, 5 to 10 different blockchains with no way to interact. Eventually, to really unlock the floodgates, things will definitely move and converge. We're already seeing that even from the private blockchain side over to the public blockchain side. Such a common debate in the space is, are private blockchains necessary? A lot of people in the crypto side will tout private blockchains just as kind of another database, another, Excel type layer that's not really changing anything. No, I see a lot of efficiencies on the banking side, and that's something we're going to dive into during my keynote later today. But also things to keep in mind, you have R3 Corda, who's been pioneering stuff on the enterprise blockchain solution side, and now they're EVM compatible. So working right alongside with Ethereum-based projects. All extremely promising developments, I would say, and this all came out in 2023. So I think this is really the year of this whole tokenization game. The plumbing is getting there, the project types and use cases are getting there. Google tokenization, you'll find some keywords. All the major banks that you probably work with anyway, if you're in the capital markets, all doing this type of stuff. So things are getting extremely, extremely interesting. I know we have a handful of panels coming up. We have the global adoption and regulatory arbitrage coming up in just 5 minutes, in fact. So I don't want to eat up too much time. I want to make sure that panel is coming on and getting all ready. And we're really excited to bring this to, to everybody listening. I think we have somewhere between, we have a ton of viewers, let's just say, and some really good quality names. I think a lot of people are getting value so far. Look to continue doing that today. Talk to everybody in just 5 minutes.